But when you're standing there and the SWAT team has AR-15s pointed at you, and I mean, I prayed the strongest prayer, purest prayer I've ever prayed in my life to God.
A prayer that led Scott Carter to a 13-acre plot of land outside of Neosho, Missouri, where men of all ages are getting a second chance. It's the home of Adult and Teen Challenge, a year-long faith-based program helping individuals overcome drug and alcohol addiction.
The folks that come in, they can see people that were where they are and now are somewhere else, and so that's special. They need to see that.
Zach Norris is the director of program development and says the goal is to do more than just kick an addiction.
We end up having to change just about everything about us. It's not just getting sober. A jail could get someone sober.
But truly changing your ways requires a commitment far beyond that. One example is Scott, who spent nearly 20 years of his life in prison.
Through my addiction, I've always been searching for something, and I never was able to find it, and I'd try harder and harder, do more drugs.
It all came to a head in February of this year.
My wife was in jail, I was on the run, and I ended up getting into a standoff with the police. Through it all, I gave up. I decided that life just wasn't worth living. I put the gun to my head and decided it was time to go.
Before he could end his life, police managed to shoot the gun out of his hand with rubber bullets. Scott says a higher power saved him that night, and on a recommendation from jail ministers, the prosecutor sentenced him to go through the program.
Now that I've been given this chance and got here, I'm finally whole.
He's just an example of a life transformed.
According to an Evangel University study, 92.9% of the program's graduates nationwide reported zero run-ins with the law. Zach attributes this in part to the many staff members who have battled addiction themselves.
Radically changed people are the best ones to learn from.
One of those people being Zach himself.
Well, I was an addict, and for about 12 years, and I'm addicted to meth and heroin and pills and just whatever I could get my hands on, I guess. I was just sick, and dying, homeless, and detoxing from heroin, and had pneumonia, and living on the street. And I just told myself I was going to do whatever it took this time.
He did. And as a graduate of the program, he's a perfect example of a second chance well taken.
Where we came from, they would never believe that we could have been any different. And so just simply seeing us how we are now is a teaching moment, and an example that really anything's possible.
He wants me to live and help people, not hurt people, and to get my family together, to live for this better purpose.
A purpose that Scott understands and believes in more and more each day. In Neosho, Jesse Irwin, KOAM.